I did originally start off in early years a long time ago, and that's why I enrolled onto the early years course. And I did have in mind a clear path that I wanted to be a SENCO. Special needs is an area that is a really keen interest of mine. But as I went through the course, sort of my direction took a little bit of a change. I do believe, and I've been told at the interview stage of this new role, it was my early years experience and my early years degree that got me the role, which was quite surprising because these are obviously secondary key stage 4 and young people. But it was that sort of nurturing early years role that these specifically these children need. So it's I think the early years programme goes quite wide in your opportunities that you can move on to.
It helps with networking as well. Bina Palmer, I was interviewed by Bina Palmer for a job with the council for the disability team. And a lot of people applied for the post. So to get an interview was great. And I think that it helps you to get interviews if you are on the course, because it shows that you're you're willing to learn, and you want to learn and research and know more. And I think that when I applied for this job that I've just had the offer for, it definitely helped that I was doing a degree.
And I think within my role now, if I hadn't have done the course, I probably wouldn't have been able to go into it as quickly and be able to do it to the correct level. So my report writing assignments and stuff like that was definitely made beneficial from having done the course, and confidence. Like, my confidence has definitely grown.
I've just started. I'm partway through first year of my masters, so I've continued on, and I'm doing it through Wolverhampton University. It's 100% online. I think for Warwick University as a university itself, and I'm not saying that the standards are any less or their expectations are any less where I am, but certainly the research, especially during the research module, at the level it was at, has really helped me with my current studies now. We were really fortunate in the students that we had in the group that sort of learning off each other. We all came from very different backgrounds, and that's really contributes. So the masters I'm doing now is in psychology, so the early childhood and SEND, all of that's been massive. This current module is learning psychology, and there's so many things from modules in my undergrad that has really been a foundation for this.
So my current role is supporting the teacher with the children's learning and development. We're working with children in neurodevelopment with autism, ADHD, and co-occurring dyspraxia. And it's just basically supporting them to live each day to the full and make the most out of each day, and for them to feel that they can still do everything that everyone else is doing. So perhaps if they're struggling to do, dress themselves, supporting with that. If they're struggling to join in PE because perhaps, they've got gross motor delay, it's helping to support them to find a way to adapt the activity so that they can also be involved and join in.
So I went from childminding, like 0 to 5-year-olds, recently joined Just Teachers Agency just to get a bit of a feel of what's out there. And I ended up at a secondary school for special educational needs, mainly autism, social emotional needs. It was a real jump in the deep end, but just the conversations you have with the children, supporting the teachers and stuff, it's just so varied and it's not mundane. You're never bored. It's really good.
I'm a children and families worker. I work for a team called FDAC, which is the Family Drug and Alcohol Court in Coventry. The idea of our model is that we work quite intensely with the parent. It's completely different to what I was doing before. Whilst I was studying, as I say, I finished last year. I was working as a TA and a HLTA in a special needs school initially, and then in a mainstream primary school. I think without the degree, whilst I didn't need a degree to get the job I've got now, I don't think I probably would have got a look in if I didn't have that. So it's definitely given me a good stance for that.
I'm Charlie Howland, and as you said, I've graduated graduated the BA top up last year. I currently work in an alternative provision for 14 to 16-year-olds. So we're based in a college, which is quite challenging because obviously it's quite open. We're mixing with the general public. There's lots and lots of courses and lots of different types of students there. My role within that is that I'm the pastoral coach. So I will support the students academically to make sure that they're in classrooms. Emotionally, we do a lot of coaching sessions and one-to-one. It's getting them on involved in like children in need meetings. We work together with social workers, with Compass for drug and alcohol. We work with the police quite regularly. We've got a lot of students that are at high risk of exploitation and county lines. So we do a lot of trauma informed work around them, but to enable them to still access some education.
I actually started as a teaching assistant and I did that for about 7 years, and then I got asked to take on the role of an unqualified teacher, and that's the same year that I obviously started doing my degree, so with the intention of becoming qualified. So I did a reception teacher for 4 years while studying. So I'm now going through the process of getting my teacher qualification, and I'm the manager and the teacher in our nursery setting. We will have 83 children in nursery after Easter, and there are 9 members of staff who I currently oversee. So I guess, yeah, it's taken on a bit of a different turn in the past, even within the past 5 years of studying, teaching, and then taking on more of a managerial role as well.